You are listening to And Press Play, written and recorded by James West.
Hello all, and welcome back to And Press Play. This week I'm reviewing Watch by Maisie Peters, taken from her 2023 album The Good Witch. Now, before I listened to The Good Witch, I'd heard a lot about Maisie Peters, a woman who's signed to Ed Sheeran's Gingerbread Man label and has won praise for a Taylor Swift-esque style of writing. It sounded like something I should probably give a listen. And I'm very glad I did. The Good Witch is a great album, full of great pop songs, many of which have those notes of bitterness that we all love, not to mention lots of sharp, cutting and insightful lyrics. Watch is one of my favourite songs on the album, and when it came to the track list for this series, it seemed only right to review it. The song starts off with some guitar strumming, which gives it a harsh, angry feel. After a few seconds, Peters' voice comes in soft, reflective tones. There's a sense of melancholy that runs all through this verse, and it's reflected brilliantly in the lyrics. Starting off with telling the wide web that this is my era, then writing a lot of heartbroken music. It showcases the contradictions of modern life. This is my era is supposed to signify that she is taking control of her own life, doesn't care what anyone thinks, and is living for herself. The exact opposite of writing lots of heartbroken music. This contradiction continues with nobody actually happy and healthy has ever felt so desperate to prove it, which builds on this fact that the more someone tries to convince you of something, the less you actually believe it. Following this, she turns her withering gaze onto her ex with a "You took a road trip into the mountains, I feel like all my exes have done that," a line that I find quite amusing actually. There's that whole standard reason in a breakup of I need to find myself, I need more time for me, etc. And the whole idea of going into the mountains to find himself makes it sound somewhat spiritual, until Peters calls it out by saying he's nothing special. Finally, we get the short, sharp, final line, and it felt like a face slap, which brings the listener back into the present. Peters' vocals become more prominent during the pre-chorus as she sings "It keeps hurting" and "I keep searching," a couple of lines which, due to their separation, show that despite her outward appearance, the narrator is still reeling and is coming to terms with the breakup. As the chorus begins, the drums and synths kick in, energising the song and showing the more angry side of the narrator. This turns the song from being slow and mournful to more of a pop-punk type tune, and allows the listener to feel the full impact of the narrator's emotions. Peters' voice becomes more angry, and the use of backing vocals in this section is superb, and believe me, that's not a statement I often say. It's almost like the first half of each lyric is the outer voice that she'd say to him, and the second half is the inner voice, expressing the annoyance and resentment she has towards him. There's some great lines in here. "I fought it, but I saw it, and it sawed me right in half," symbolising that even seeing her ex opens up old wounds. And later on in the verse, "You're being a superstar and all I've got are victim cards and you got every single thing you want." Very much showing she thinks he did better out of this than she did. Her voice becomes softer though for the last few lines as she sings "I just watch," which shows both a sense of annoyance but also powerlessness that she can't do anything about it. Going into verse 2, the song returns back to its guitar-led state, but with some added percussion to supply some more energy to the song. It's like the narrator has calmed down from their outburst, but the anger is still seething within. Her voice returns to that soft state as she sings "Millennium Baby, but you are pretentious, so you have a camcorder out of the 90s." Another, frankly humorous line. The lyrics then take a turn for the doubtful with "and everybody pretends to be great, but what if you actually might be?" which kind of represents a break in her armour. She's wondering if indeed she was wrong about this guy. We then go into a different pre-chorus, which focuses the narrator's anger inwards as she sings "Got to get my act together." She knows she needs to move on. This segues into the second chorus, which is much the same as the first. Following the chorus, we go straight into the bridge, which keeps up the same drums, synths, and guitar backing as the chorus, keeping the emotional state of the narrator high. Peters sings about the balance between head and heart here. I know I should get better. I don't think I want to get better. The subtle differences in lyrics showing how difficult it is to pick one and stick to it. This is reflected in the next couplet as well. So obsessed, now I don't have you, I just keep looking back at you. And of course the final two lines of the bridge. The music quietens once again as we reach the breakdown, with Peters' voice returning to the softness of her earlier verses, but with an added bitterness. The breakdown shows how far the narrator's obsession has gone with, I saw you and your girlfriend, sure I don't know she's your girlfriend, well sue me, so at least then we could talk. Not only has she made the assumption that any new woman her ex-boyfriend is with is his girlfriend, but she's so desperate to speak to him that she's willing to be sued to accomplish it. Peters' voice in that final line is superb, the anger and bitterness is in full force, but there's notes of pleading on the talk, which show the damage underneath. The song finishes off with one final chorus, emphasising how affected she was by this breakup and how much she's angry at him. Now you're living the goddamn dream, have a golden star, this one's for free, 'cause you broke my heart and my self-esteem for a girl who's a remix of me. One final set of biting lyrics. The song ends abruptly with a last "and I just watch," emphasising the narrator's point one final time. To conclude, Maisie Peters' Watch is a great, biting and sardonic pop song with withering and bitter lyrics, set atop some great pop-punk instrumentation. I will give this song a 4.4 out of 5.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time.